Hi everybody, this is Mindvine from expanton.com, and I just wanted to go through today some of the stuff that I have in my bug out bag. I know some of you may not know what a bug out bag is or what the purpose of it is, but the reasoning behind it is to have something ready when you need it, not being rushing around or having to go to the store and get some stuff at the last second, because that's not going to happen. The point is to have something there ready the first second that you need it so you can get the hell out when you need to. So today I just wanted to give you a quick run through of some of the stuff that I have in my bug out bag, my emergency pack, so I can be out of the house right away if I need to be. If I don't need to be, no big deal. It was not extremely expensive and it doesn't take up that much space, so you just sit in a corner and gather dust, and I'd rather have it that way. The vast majority of this stuff that I got either got on eBay or Sportsman's Guide or Cheaper Than Dirt. Those are all good retailers to find a wide selection of camping and survival related items that would be useful in something like this. You really don't have to spend a ton of money to have something basic to last you a few days. You could easily do that for $50. But I went all out on this one and pretty much built myself a short to medium range time range setup, so that if things got really bad and it needed to last for more than a few days, I would at least have something to fall back on. The first and most important requirement, and absolute requirement, is to have something to carry all this stuff in. Now what I got was a Molly pack setup, and that's M-O-L-L-E. For those of you who aren't initiated in the military terminology, which is a light pack, which has a plastic frame, is very strong, can hold tons and tons of weight, more weight than you can, and it's built pretty tough. You can get the aftermarket packs. The military packs are a little more expensive, the actual military packs, but aftermarket ones you can get for about $50. And it has all the webbing on it, so you can strap all your extra gear to the outside. If you notice, you open it up and pull it apart, there's lots of pockets, lots of storage area in it, lots of straps to hold everything down so things aren't moving around, which is important if you're going over long distances. It's got a nice comfortable harness on it, lots of straps to keep it tight in your back, again, so it's not moving around. Even more important than the container to hold all this stuff in is your water supply. Now, the best solution to the water supply problem is these camel packs. They have plenty of other ones that are not brand name, that are cheaper, that you can use, that work just as fine, but the technology is all basically the same. It is a pack, it's a bladder, a water bladder that comes off of it with a bite valve that you can easily and quickly just get a little bit of water to it. Keeps it nice and cool. They have these things, I believe, you can get them a couple quarts of water, size-wise. This is one of the larger ones, and I actually have two of these in my pack. You can see here, you open it up and there's the fill cap, and it goes off into the hose, which leads to the bite valve. And again, this is an absolute requirement in a good bug out bag. Now, I'm trying to do this in order of importance, and to that effect, the next most important thing would be your protection from the elements. Now, you can see here I have a sleeping bag, and when looking for sleeping bags, the most important thing you want to always check is to make sure that the temperature rating is appropriate for your region. Now, this is almost always listed. If it's not, find a better sleeping bag. If you're in anywhere that has cold winters or that gets below freezing point, you want a 0-degree temperature sleeping bag. Now, that's important because if you don't get that, you're going to be freezing your ass off. And the whole point of this is to survive. So, kind of defeats the purpose. And if you can't find one within your price range, which you should be able to, I found 0-degree sleeping bags for $30. You can always use one of those emergency sleeping blankets on the inside of that, and that will retain more body heat. You can see here that I have a neoprene face cover, and again, if you're going to be in any area that's going to get below freezing, this is a really, really good thing to have because it will keep you from getting frostbite in the face. Not only is that painful, but again, it's another thing that is a threat to your health. Now, next here, I have a rain poncho. This is synthetic material. Fairly inexpensive. Basically what this is going to do is keep you dry, and if you're out in the wild for any significant period of time, that is important to your health, because if you are wet and soggy all the time, you're going to have lots of nice little critters growing on you, and you don't want that. So keeping dry is important to your health, very important to your health. Now, integral, even probably more so than the sleeping bag, is boots. Having a good broken-in pair of boots. If you don't have these, you are going to be in pain. Make sure they're broken in too. That's important. Break them in before you actually need them, because if you're going to have to be walking miles and miles in a pair of boots you haven't even bothered to break in yet, you are going to be suffering and probably bleeding. And again, that's a risk to your health through infection, as well as a ton of other things. Another thing too, it's important to include, is a pair or a couple pairs of dry socks. You can see I have these vacuum sealed. I use a vacuum sealer for a lot of stuff included in this pack. You can get those pretty cheap for about $50 now. I have a small, either 1 or 2 person tent. I got the 2 person tent just because it was, a little more roomy, so I can, put my pack inside it and everything. This was $30. This is, again, important to keep you dry and keep you out of the elements, and again, stop the wind, snow, whatever it is you might encounter. As you can see here, these things can get pretty small, and I have here, in addition to the 2 person tent, I don't carry this one, but it's an example of how small these tents can actually get. This is a 1 person tent, couldn't weigh more than a couple pounds, and again, this is $15, totally within anybody's price range. And of course, in any bug out bag, you want to have some food and preparation utensils. Here you can see some of the stuff that I included in mine. First of all, I'm going to start off with the utensils. This is here a 75 round barrel drum bag that I found on Cheaper Than Dirt. It was a couple bucks. It just happened to be the right size to fit my cooking equipment. Like you can see here, this is all a nice, neat little bag here. It breaks down into really compressed area. It has folding handles and several different containers, a couple bowls, a couple pots. It's really convenient to either be boiling water and cooking food at the same time in case you need to have those separate. And the fact that it all breaks down and collapses and is relatively self-contained is helpful because you don't want to be taking up too much space in your pack. Next, I have some retail versions of some long-lasting shelf-stable foods that you can buy that are cheap. Here I have some mashed potato packets and some tuna packets. The mashed potatoes, you just add some boiling water, and the tuna is shelf-stable for a few years and can give you a little protein. They're inexpensive retail versions of basically the MREs that you can buy, and I also have some of them here just to supplement nutritionally. And these are more expensive, and they're actually completely unnecessary, because what I'm about to show you is basically the poor man's version of the MREs, which is able to be made by buying one of these vacuum sealers. And again, they're only about $50, and it'll save you. And you'll spend that much money on MREs easily. You might as well get a food vacuum out of it, and you can put a ton of food in your pack, and you can do it for a whole lot less.